At 3 a.m., my Ring app started buzzing saying there's new activity at my old apartment, and I swear to God my heart stopped. We'd moved out 6 months ago and terminated that lease, so why was I getting notifications? I shoved my husband Tyrone awake, probably harder than necessary, shoving the screen in his face. "It's just a glitch," he mumbled, rolling over like I was being dramatic. Ring cameras do that sometimes with old addresses, but something felt off about how quickly he dismissed it, so I opened the app anyway. What I saw made me wake up instantly. Our old couch was sitting right there on the screen, that hideous brown monster we'd supposedly donated to Goodwill. The coffee table we'd sold on Facebook Marketplace was exactly where we'd left it, complete with my birthday party wine stain. But if we'd terminated the lease, Tyrone, why is our stuff still there? My voice went squeaky, which I hate, but I was freaking out. He sat up way too fast, practically lunging for my phone, but I yanked it away. "Just close the app, babe. It's probably showing old footage." Except the timestamp said 3:02 a.m., literally right now, and I could see fresh rain droplets on the window. My chest felt like someone was squeezing it because this meant someone had been maintaining our old place for 6 months. I pulled up our bank statements while he kept insisting this was some technical glitch, his voice getting more desperate with each excuse. No rent payments anywhere on our personal accounts, which should have been good news except someone was obviously paying. By 7 a.m., I was practically vibrating with anxiety and called the property management's emergency line. After being transferred twice, I finally got answers that were even more confusing. "Oh yes, mister. Tyrone renewed the lease," she said cheerfully. "He pays through his business account for tax purposes, lists it as client meeting space." Client meeting space? He worked from home exclusively, so who was he meeting? That's when I remembered Megan, my old neighbor who worked night shifts and loved gossip. She called immediately after my text, probably thrilled for drama. "Girl, your husband's been there every Thursday for months with some creepy old dude who gives me serial killer vibes." The description she gave stopped everything. Gray hair, tall, that weird limp from his motorcycle accident, the scar through his left eyebrow. My father, my own father, who was supposed to be rotting in state prison for 15 years. But how was he at our apartment if he was locked up? "He got out 3 months ago," Tyrone admitted quietly, not even trying to deny it anymore. Some technicality with evidence handling, they had to release him. I wanted to scream so bad my throat burned. 3 months of secret meetings, but what were they planning that required weekly visits? How could you not tell me he was out? I was whisper screaming now because the kids were sleeping. "Your mom's death changed him, Della. He's been going to therapy, working through his issues." Then this absolute idiot pulled out his phone to show me something that made everything worse. Hundreds of photos I didn't know existed. Our daughter Winnie at soccer practice, our son Milo walking into school, me at the grocery store buying tampons. "He cries every time he sees how happy you are," Tyrone said, and I wanted to punch him. "He's creating a family archive for his therapy." That's when everything clicked and I felt like I was going insane. The weird car outside Winnie's dance recital that made my skin crawl. That man at the park who looked familiar but vanished when I double-checked. The feeling of being watched at Target that Tyrone said was just my anxiety. Of course it wasn't anxiety, but why would my father risk violating parole just to watch us? "You gave him our schedules?" My voice sounded dead. "Just general stuff," Tyrone lied, but I could literally see the documents on his phone. Winnie's dance schedule with the studio address, Milo's karate times, my running route with every single street labeled. But this wasn't a family archive, it was surveillance. "He went to prison for trying to kidnap me, Tyrone. He had duct tape and zip ties in his van." The memory gave me flashbacks. "That was 12 years ago," Tyrone whined, but even he didn't believe his own BS. When the ring alert went off again, I zoomed in on the feed and nearly screamed. He was loading boxes into a white van, the same type he'd had before. "He said he just needed photos for his therapist," Tyrone stammered, but those weren't photos he was packing. Children's toys that weren't ours, rope, and something wrapped in plastic. "Remember when the kids mentioned that nice grandpa with candy last week?" Tyrone's face went gray. "The one who knew their names? But if he'd promised no contact, why approach them at school?" "He swore he wouldn't," Tyrone started, but we both knew what those supplies meant. "I made one phone call. He found us," I told my brother. "Code black. Both of them." "Silence then. You're sure about both?" I looked at Tyrone, who still didn't understand what he'd enabled. He gave him everything. The line went dead. Tyrone keeps asking what code black means, but he'll find out soon enough when they both disappear.